This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 22nd day of December in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The APNU-AFC, through its Chief Whip in Parliament, Christopher Jones, has moved to the courts to challenge the appointments of Vikash Ramkissoon and Sarah Brown as parliamentary secretaries and non-elected members of the National Assembly. Ramkissoon took the oath as Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Agriculture, while Brown is serving as a Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. It has been found that the two Parliamentary Secretaries both served as candidates on the PP Civic's list of candidates at the last elections, and therefore cannot serve in the role of Permanent Secretaries as non-elected members. APNU-AFC Member of Parliament and Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford explained that the Constitution is clear on the issue. He said by the two persons serving as candidates in the elections, that would make them elected members. He said the president's appointment would have to be for non-elected members.
The action that has been filed in the name of Mr. Jones challenges the membership of the National Assembly in respect of Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkissoon. Both Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkissoon would have been named as candidates on the PPPC's list at the March 2nd elections held this year. Therefore, they would have been elected members of the National Assembly and incapable in law of being appointed by the President to function as parliamentary secretaries. Parliamentary secretaries are persons appointed by the President to be part and be members of the National Assembly, but it is on the basis that they are not elected members of the National Assembly.
Mr. Ford reminded of the case that was brought against the former APNU-AFC government over the appointment of two ministers as non-elected members of the National Assembly. In the ruling on that case, both the High Court and the Court of Appeal found that the two ministers could not sit in the Assembly as non-elected members, since they were both on their party's list of candidates. Mr. Ford said it is a similar situation that exists now.
The ruling in that case is very similar, Gordon. The ruling by the Court of Appeal indicated that Mr. Felix, I think it was Mr. Felix and Mr. Scott, that they could not have been members of the National Assembly because they were candidates and listed on the list of electors of the APNU-AFC, and therefore they could not have been extracted beyond the numbers of seats allocated to the APNU list, and also they could not be non-elected members of the National Assembly.
Okay, back to the current case. What exactly are you asking the court to order?
We're asking the court to make a number of orders. First, a declaration that Ms. Brown and Mr. Ramkissoon, that they're not lawfully members of the National Assembly. And secondly, that each one of them, Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkissoon, could not have been lawfully appointed as parliamentary secretaries in respect of the government of Guyana. And we're also asking for an order directing the Speaker of the National Assembly to prevent both of them, that is Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkissoon, from sitting and participating in the business of the nation.
The APNU-AFC wants the court to issue an order directing the Speaker of the National Assembly to prevent Brown and Ramkissoon from sitting in the Assembly as parliamentary secretaries, since they would both be doing so unlawfully. The Speaker of the National Assembly, the Attorney General, and the two parliamentary secretaries have been named as the respondents in the matter. The case is likely to come up for hearing early in the new year. More news coming up in a moment. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
People we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Elite Fragrances and Tradings is your destination for the most luxurious deodorant, perfume, cologne, body spray, sunglasses, wallet, belt, spas, men hair products, and much more. Elite Fragrances and Tradings, 123 Regent Road border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. You can contact us on 619-5151 or 227-1255. The perfect fragrance is the ultimate accessory.
I wanna be a Super 95 millionaire.
You can be a Super 95 millionaire this Christmas when you purchase $3,000 or more Super 95 fuel from Guyana service stations. Enter to win one of two first prizes of $1 million plus weekly cash prizes up to $500,000. That's not all. Each week until January 15, 2021, you can also have a chance to win smart TVs, tablets, shopping vouchers, and so much more. So hurry down to the nearest Guyana service station and spend $3,000 or more on Super 95 fuel, and you can be a Super 95 millionaire. Press for more details.
Ravinas and Water Street and Anans and Regent Street just received a new shipment of leatherette in over 16 colors. Leatherette can be used in a wide variety of applications, including covering speedboat seats, cargo, and keeping commuters dry. Ideal for minibus and car seats, leatherette can be custom made to your seating requirements. Leatherette is easy to clean and sanitize and a better choice during the COVID pandemic. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit us to get the best prices in town. Ravinas and Water Street and Anans and Regent Street.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
I have many wishes for Christmas. A freshly painted home, a new vacation home, a new car, home furnishings, my dream wedding, new kitchen appliances, a new smart TV, a new phone for Zion, school fees too. Gosh, I still want this work from home office area. I just wish I could get some extra cash to clear my debts altogether. Do you feel the same? GBTI is granting 12 wishes for Christmas.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Welcome back. APNU AFC Member of Parliament and incoming Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, David Patterson, has written to the Speaker of the National Assembly again, expressing his frustration over the Speaker's inaction in convening the meetings of the Parliamentary Committee. In the letter to the Speaker, Mansour Nadir, Mr. Patterson accused the Speaker of failing to uphold his duty to summon the first meeting of the Public Accounts Committee to ensure it is constitutionally established. He reminded that he has written to the Speaker on at least 5 other occasions, calling on him to discharge his duties to convene the first meeting of the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Patterson said it is unacceptable to have the Parliament convened at great expense to the citizens and not use the opportunity to convene committee meetings. He also said it is disrespectful to the members and a disservice to the country. With the parliamentary sitting set for this week, Mr. Patterson is calling on the Speaker to suspend the standing orders and operationalize the parliamentary committees. He said the opposition members are prepared and ready to attend the convening of any meeting of the Public Accounts Committee. The Speaker was quoted in the Stabroek News recently as saying that he did not call the meetings of the parliamentary committees because of scheduling conflicts. But members from both sides of the House have reported that they were never contacted about any meeting or plan to meet. Well, let's tell you now that the government intends to move to ensure proper infrastructure is in place in areas earmarked for housing development before house lots are handed out. The assurance came from Prime Minister Mark Phillips today at the Ministry of Housing's Dream Realised Housing Drive on the Western Marara. The event saw hundreds of house lots being distributed. The Prime Minister said that along with the allocation of house lots, the government has also been putting systems in place to offset additional expenses of future homeowners. He said with a reversal of value-added tax on construction materials and an increase in the mortgage relief ceiling, new homeowners could find it easier to start the construction of their new homes.
This means that more money is available to you, and it also means that you could look forward to being able to build decent, high-quality houses at an affordable cost.
The Prime Minister said with billions of dollars set aside for housing development, additional infrastructure work will be done in new communities.
But our government will not just allocate house lots to you and neglect you. We will provide all the infrastructure necessary for you to live comfortably in these locations that were already disclosed. You will have the basics of running water, roads, and electricity so that you and your families can live in dignity.
And Minister of Housing Colin Crowell announced today that a similar housing drive will be heading to the Berbice area by next week.
So with today's allocation over the next 2 days, of over 1,500 house lots, we are therefore not only contributing directly towards improved well-being and standard of living, but we are also setting the stage of socio-economic drive that will increase wealth amongst our people.
There are more than 30,000 persons still awaiting the allocation of house lots. While efforts are being made to reduce that number, new applications keep piling on. While the government of Guyana and the China Harbour Engineering Company have entered into an agreement that will see additional work being done at the Chedijagan Airport to the tune of $9 million. The cost is to be covered by the contractor, China Engineering Company. Under the new agreement, there will be an extension of the airport's boarding corridor in order to accommodate 2 more passenger boarding bridges. That move will provide the airport with a total of 6 boarding bridges capable of servicing aircraft such as the Boeing 777, Dreamliner, the Airbus, and similar transatlantic aircraft. Additionally, the contractor has agreed to extend the terminal building to provide accommodation for additional commercial space, such as food courts and duty-free shops. The extended building will feature a modern airport facade covering the full length of the departure terminal. The government said the China Harbour Engineering Company has also agreed to rectify and complete all outstanding remedial works within prescribed timelines. All of the works are to be now completed by the end of next year. The agreement was signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Works, Vladimir Prasad, on behalf of the government, and the project manager of China Harbours, Mr. Liu Qilong. The Ministry of Health reported today that the country has recorded 45 new cases of coronavirus and 1 additional death. Of the 45 new cases, 34 are from the Region 10 area. The death toll now stands at 160, with the latest fatality being a 73-year-old man from Region 5. Since the start of December, the country has recorded 793 new cases of COVID-19, with health officials worried that the number of new cases could top 1,000 by the end of next week. The Health Ministry is currently preparing to put its COVID-19 vaccination task force in place, with the ministry currently seeking the expertise of a professional in the field of vaccinations. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony.
The 2 vaccines that are currently in use, which is Pfizer and Moderna, require special temperature control. Pfizer requires a -70, while Moderna requires a -20. We have not had such types of vaccines in Guyana where you require these types of temperatures. So it is important that we get some expertise in this area and we work with people who understand how to utilize this ultra-cold chain. So we have spoken to the COVAX mechanism and we have applied for a grant and to get an expert in from or through COVAX, technical assistance, in terms of working with ultra cold chain.
Meanwhile, the health minister, during his daily updates today, continued to urge citizens to follow the COVID-19 guidelines, avoid crowds, and wear face masks in public. But while the health ministry is pushing physical distancing as a way of fighting the pandemic, other government departments have been hosting events with large gatherings all across the country. The police force is also coming under criticism for its failure to tackle the problem of bars and night spots openly flouting the regulations, which have placed a ban on the opening of bars and nightclubs and other entertainment spots. Some tragic news to report now. Police investigators are probing the murder of 82-year-old retired priest George Chukasang, whose body was found at his Vicinjon Road home on Monday. Mr. Chukasang is believed to have been murdered sometime between Friday morning and Monday afternoon. The body was found clad only in a brief with multiple stab wounds. The man's daughter, Renata Chukasang, became concerned when he did not return her calls and was not responding to WhatsApp messages. According to the police, the daughter last spoke to her elderly father on Friday morning. It was the daughter and another priest who she contacted that made the discovery of the lifeless body of the retired priest. He was taken to the Georgetown Hospital, where he was officially pronounced dead. The murder has thrown the Anglican community into mourning.
Humble, simple, polite, peaceful, very caring person.
A post-mortem examination is to be carried out on the body. The Magistrates Court at Linden has been shut down until the 4th of January over concerns about exposure to coronavirus. In a statement today, the judiciary announced that the closure of the court at Linden is a precautionary measure because of exposure to COVID-19 and to effect sanitization of the court building and office. All hearings will now be done remotely during the closure. Urgent matters could be addressed through the clerk of the court. The move comes as Region 10 continues to witness a spike in new coronavirus cases, with 34 new cases being recorded in the community in the past 24 hours. There are currently more than 100 active cases in the Region 10 area. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
Season is here once again, and we encourage everybody to be safe. Between October 23rd and December 31st, buy your groceries and fuel from Falls, and you can win a Christmas hamper every week or your fuel purchase free. Just spend $3,000, complete the coupon, drop it in the box, and then listen for your name. And to make it even better, you can win a bumper hamper on Christmas Eve day. Yes, our prices are great, the environment is safe, and everyone wins when you shop in the Falls Christmas promotion, Land of Canaan.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19, across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS FREEDOM by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
Many wishes for Christmas. A freshly painted home, a new vacation home, a new car, home furnishings, my dream wedding, new kitchen appliances, a new smart TV, a new phone for Zion, school fees too. Gosh, I still want this work from home office area. I just wish I could get some extra cash to clear my debts altogether. Do you feel the same? GBTI is granting 12 wishes for Christmas.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
Regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Across the region right now, the Jamaica Gleaner is reporting that as Jamaica closed its borders to United Kingdom flights on Monday, the country's largest lobby of hoteliers and tour operators has thrown its weight behind the Holness administration's decision to shut out British travelers amid the emergence of an ultra-contagious strain of the coronavirus that marked the territory as the sick man of Europe. The Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, whose members stand to benefit most from UK tourist arrivals to the island, acknowledged on Monday that the government was obligated to protect its citizens from a variant of the coronavirus that was still unknown. The travel ban introduced Monday will last for 2 weeks, ending on the 4th of January. However, a flight that came into the country on Monday night and outbound flights will be allowed up to midnight tonight. Both British Airways and Virgin Atlantic, with twice-weekly and thrice-weekly flights into the Montego Bay area, have suspended service until further notice. In neighboring Brazil, police in Rio de Janeiro have arrested the city's mayor, Marcelo Crivella. Mr. Crivella, an evangelical pastor who was elected in 2016, was detained at his home at dawn as part of an investigation into alleged bribery scheme at Rio's City Hall. The 63-year-old conservative stood for re-election this year, but lost to center-right former Mayor Eduardo Paez. Mr. Crivella said he was innocent and is now the target of a political persecution. He had earlier denied any knowledge of the alleged bribes being paid to Rio City Hall. The mayor, whose term is due to end on the 31st of December, has seen his popularity plummet since he took office on the 1st of January 2017. In recent months, residents have accused him of mishandling the coronavirus epidemic in Rio de Janeiro. And finally tonight, international news. Israel's divided government appears headed to collapse, a step that will trigger the country's fourth election in under 2 years and pose an unprecedented threat to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's lengthy grip on power. Netanyahu used to label his opponents as weak leftists. He finds himself now confronted by a trio of disgruntled former aides who share his hardline ideology, led by a popular lawmaker who recently broke away from the Prime Minister's Likud party. Whether Netanyahu can fend off these challenges or not, the country is almost certain to be led by a right-wing politician, opposed to concessions to the Palestinians, complicating hopes by the incoming Biden administration to restart peace talks. The BBC reports that the prospects of Israel's center-left bloc appear worse than in previous contests because its leader, Defense Minister Benzi Gantz, entered into an ill-fated alliance with Netanyahu that is now crumbling. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.